Welcome to Vision Vested, where we explore the hidden psychological mechanisms that shape our lives and define our silent survival strategies. Imagine a young child who has learned that the safest way to exist in this world is to simply not exist at all. This is not about being shy or introverted. It is a profound learned behavior of disappearing to ensure one's own emotional survival. We call this the art of becoming invisible, a defense mechanism forged in the fires of early childhood neglect and emotional abandonment. Just as a plant adapts to drought by shrinking, a human soul adapts to emotional scarcity by reducing its needs to zero. Today, we will dissect the biology of this silence and understand why being low maintenance is actually a deep, unhealed trauma response. We will uncover how the understanding child grows up to become the invisible adult, struggling to claim their rightful space in life. We will see how this mechanism sabotages your career, making you the hardest worker who never gets the credit or the promotion. We will also explore how it affects your love life, drawing you to partners who consume your energy while giving nothing back. Finally, we will look at the physical toll, the biological debt your body pays for years of suppressing your true emotional self. To understand this complex phenomenon, we must first travel back to the very beginning, to the biological roots of our survival instincts. When a baby is born, they are entirely dependent. Their cry is a biological alarm designed to summon help and ensure survival. Crying requires immense amounts of energy. It burns calories and elevates stress hormones like cortisol, which is dangerous for a developing brain. If a child cries and no one comes, the brain realizes that continuing to scream is not just useless, it is life-threatening. To prevent exhaustion and death, the brain engages a biological shutdown. The child stops crying, not because they are soothed, but to survive. This is a primal instinct similar to animals playing dead. It is a desperate attempt to reduce metabolic demand on a neglecting environment. Tragically, this survival freeze is often praised. Parents may call this child an easy baby or a good sleeper, reinforcing the detachment. As the child grows, this pattern solidifies. They learn that making demands leads to rejection, while silence ensures they are at least tolerated. The neural pathways associated with expressing needs begin to atrophy. The brain literally prunes away the ability to ask for help. They become hyper-aware of their parents' stress. They perceive themselves as a burden, a calorie cost that their caregivers cannot afford. This leads to the trap of the understanding child. They are praised for being mature, independent, and requiring very little parenting effort. But this maturity is a facade. It is a frantic attempt to self-soothe so that the caregiver does not have to expend energy. They learn to lick their own wounds. They become their own parent, their own doctor, and their own comforter at a tender age. This self-sufficiency is not healthy independence. It is a wall built to keep out the pain of expecting love and receiving nothing. In school, this child rarely asks for help. They struggle in silence because admitting they do not understand feels like being a burden. Teachers may overlook them because they are not disruptive. They fade into the background, neither excelling nor failing enough to be noticed. They develop a sense of alienation. They observe normal human interaction as a foreign language they were never taught how to speak. At home, they occupy as little physical space as possible. They retreat to their rooms, creating a sanctuary where they are safe alone. Their inner world becomes vast and complex. They live in their heads because the external world has proven to be an emotional desert. This is the low-maintenance trap. You prune away your own branches of desire and need until you fit into the smallest pot. Now let us fast forward. That quiet child is now an adult, walking into the workplace, carrying this invisible script of silence. In the professional world, the low-maintenance individual appears to be the dream employee. They are diligent, self-sufficient, and never cause drama. You work twice as hard to ensure you are useful. You believe that your value lies solely in your output, not your presence. When the boss adds more to your plate, you say yes. You are terrified that saying no will break the illusion of perfection. You stay late while others leave. You do the work of 3 people because you are trying to justify the space you occupy. In meetings, you have brilliant ideas, but your throat tightens. You fear that speaking up will draw dangerous attention to yourself. You watch others take credit for work you contributed to. You feel a mix of resentment and relief that you remained invisible. You rarely ask for a raise. The thought of walking into an office and demanding more money feels physically impossible and terrifying. Management often overlooks you for promotions. You are seen as a reliable workhorse, not a leader, because you lack visible ambition. This leads to silent burnout. You are exhausted from carrying the weight of the invisible workload, yet you feel you cannot complain. You are a rubber band stretched to the limit. You believe that if you show weakness, you will be discarded by the tribe. This pattern of disappearance bleeds heavily into your romantic life. You do not seek partners, you seek people to hide behind. You often attract narcissists, or people who take up a lot of emotional space. They need an audience, and you are perfect. You become a mirror. You reflect their needs, their moods, and their desires, completely suppressing your own personality to keep the peace. When asked what you want, you panic. You say, "I don't mind," because you genuinely do not know how to have a preference. You manage their emotions. If they are angry, you shrink. You believe it is your job to regulate the emotional temperature. You walk on eggshells constantly. You fear that asserting a boundary will cause the other person to leave you, confirming your unworthiness. You give everything and ask for nothing. Over time, this creates a deep resentment that you are too afraid to ever voice. Intimacy requires two people to be present, but since you have disappeared, true intimacy is impossible. You are hiding in plain sight. You may feel lonely even when you are in a relationship, because your true self is never actually in the room. But the cost is not just emotional. The body keeps the score. Your biology remembers every moment you swallowed your truth. Repressing emotions is physically exhausting. It creates a biological debt that manifests as chronic migraines, fatigue, or inexplicable digestive issues. Research suggests a link between emotional suppression and autoimmune diseases. The body turns against itself because the self has been denied. Your nervous system is stuck in a chronic freeze state. You are tired but wired, unable to reach deep, restorative sleep. This is the reality of disappearing to survive. You saved your life as a child, but you are losing your life as an adult. But there is hope. The first step to breaking this cycle is simply realizing that you are doing it. You must recognize that the war is over. You are no longer that helpless child dependent on caregivers who could not see you. You can be the parent you never had. You can validate your own needs and tell that inner child that it is safe. Start small. Practice saying no to low-stakes requests. Feel the anxiety rise and then realize that the world does not end. Take up space. Speak your opinion in a meeting. Wear bright colors. Allow yourself to be seen, even if it feels uncomfortable. In relationships, express a preference. Tell your partner what you need. If they leave, they were only loving your silence, not you. Healing is not about becoming a different person. It is about revealing the person who has been hiding underneath the survival armor. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to have needs. You deserve to be high maintenance if that means being alive. Your needs are not a burden. They are the map to your humanity. Do not let the past dictate the size of your future. Breaking these chains takes time. Be patient with yourself. You are unlearning a lifetime of training that told you to be small. The world is waiting for you to show up. Not the quiet version of you, but the full, messy, loud, and real you. Thank you for watching Vision Vested. Remember to reclaim your space, speak your truth, and never apologize for your own existence. Subscribe for more insights into the human mind. Until next time, stay visible and stay true to who you are. Let us dig a little deeper now. Think about the concept of the ecosystem of a family and how you fit in. In a dysfunctional family forest, the parents are often the large trees that consume all the sunlight, leaving none for the saplings. You had to twist yourself into unnatural shapes just to catch a glimpse of affection. You became distorted to survive the shade. This competition for emotional resources is invisible but deadly. You learned that taking water meant taking it away from someone else. You might have become the therapist for your parents. You listened to their problems when you should have been playing with toys. This is called parentification. You carried the emotional weight of adults before your own shoulders were strong enough to bear it. You learned that your worth is conditional. You are only valuable as long as you are useful and solving someone else's pain. In adulthood, you become the fixer. You attract friends in crisis because you only know how to relate through helping, not sharing. You have one-sided friendships. You know everything about their lives, but they know almost nothing about your inner world or struggles. When you try to share, you are often interrupted. You retreat quickly, assuming your story was not interesting enough to hold attention. You are an overflowing cup. You take in everyone else's emotions until you have no capacity left to process your own feelings. This leads to secret rage. Deep down, a part of you is furious at being used, but you judge yourself for it. You fear your anger. You think that if you let it out, it will destroy everything, so you swallow it down. Swallowed anger turns into acid. It eats away at your lining, causing ulcers, IBS, and a host of stress-related physical ailments. Doctors may tell you it is just stress, but it is not just stress. It is the physical manifestation of a silenced soul. Your amygdala is enlarged. You are constantly scanning for danger, reading micro-expressions to anticipate rejection before it even happens. You are a master of reading the room. This is a superpower, but it is one born out of trauma, not choice. Sometimes, the noise of the world is too much. You crave silence because your internal radar has been working overtime for decades. You are a chameleon. You change your colors to fit the environment, losing track of what your true original color actually is. Even your clothing choices might reflect this. You dress to blend in, avoiding bright colors that might say, "Look at me." Try wearing red. It sounds simple, but for the invisible child, being visually loud is a radical act of defiance. Your voice is a muscle. If you do not use it, it weakens. You must exercise it daily to build strength. Listen to your own voice. Get comfortable with the sound of your own opinions. Your perspective is valid and necessary. Practice disagreement. It does not have to be a fight. Simply saying, "I see it differently," is a huge step forward. You will realize that healthy relationships can withstand disagreement. Conflict is not abuse. It is a normal part of human connection. In fact, conflict often strengthens bonds. It shows that you feel safe enough to be honest, and that builds true trust. Say no without an excuse. You do not need a fever or a family emergency to decline. "I am tired" is enough. Rest is not a reward for work. It is a basic human need. You do not have to earn the right to rest. Recharging your battery allows you to show up better for others. Self-care is actually the most generous thing you can do. When you give from a full cup, it is love. When you give from an empty cup, it is fear and obligation. Balance is key. You are not asking to become selfish. You are simply asking to be included in the equation of your life. Make peace with that little invisible child. Tell them they did a great job surviving, but the war is finally over. Integrate that survival instinct into wisdom. You are observant, empathetic, and strong. Now use those gifts for yourself, not just others. The world is vast and there is room for you. You are allowed to take up space, to breathe, and to be. As you become more visible to yourself, you will become more visible to others. The right people will love the real you. You may lose some people when you start speaking up. Let them go. They were only attached to your silence, not your soul. You will make space for new connections. Relationships based on mutual respect, reciprocity, and authentic love will begin to enter your life. Start dreaming again. What do you want? Not what your parents wanted, not what your partner wants. What do you want? Your desires are the compass pointing to your destiny. Follow them. They are not dangerous. They are the essence of who you are. Express yourself creatively. Paint, write, dance. Do things that have no utility other than the joy of expression. Creativity is the opposite of disappearance. It is the act of bringing something new into the world that says, "I was here. You are here. You matter. Your voice is needed. Your pain was real, but your future is yours to define. Be a lighthouse for yourself. Shine your own light so brightly that you can never lose your way in the dark again. Embrace confidence. Embrace presence. Embrace freedom. The cage was never locked. You just had to realize you could open the door. Fly free from the expectations of others. You are no longer bound by the rules of a game you never wanted to play. The road ahead is open. It will not always be easy, but it will be yours, and that makes all the difference. Leave the ghosts behind. They have haunted you long enough. Step into the sunlight of the present moment and live fully. You have the strength. You survived the silence. Now you will thrive in the sound. Your life is speaking to you. Listen. Like a flower blooming, it takes time and energy, but the result is a masterpiece of nature. You are that masterpiece. By healing yourself, you heal the world around you. You break the cycle for the next generation. You become the change. You are the cycle breaker. The trauma stops with you. The silence ends with you. The visibility starts with you. You belong here. You are a vital thread in the tapestry of humanity. Do not pull yourself out of the weave. We are all connected. Your disappearance leaves a hole in the fabric of life. Your presence adds color and strength to it. Laugh loud. Cry hard. Feel deeply. These are the privileges of being alive. Do not deny yourself these human experiences. Tears are not weakness. They are the melting of the ice that has frozen your heart. Let them flow and cleanse you. After the storm comes the clarity. You can see things as they really are, not through the lens of fear and scarcity. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It is putting down the heavy bag so you can walk faster and lighter toward your future. Drop the weight. You have carried it for miles. You have carried it for years. It is safe to put it down now. Run toward your life. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the noise. Embrace the messiness. It is all part of the beautiful game. The past is washed away. Every moment is a new beginning. You can choose to appear right now in this very second. Take your time. Healing is not a race. There is no finish line. There is only the journey of becoming more yourself. Be patient like the turtle. You have a shell for protection, but you must stick your neck out to move forward. Trust your future self. They are waiting for you. They are cheering you on. They know you have the courage to make it. You are whole. You are not broken. You were just hiding. And now it is time to come out and play. Open the windows of your soul. Let the light in. Let the air in. It is safe to breathe. It is safe to be. Even the smallest parts of you deserve light. Your quirks, your flaws, your weirdness. They are all welcome in the light. Get ready. The world is waiting for your contribution. Do not deprive us of the unique gift that is you. Step out. The door is open. The fear is just a shadow. Walk through it and see that it cannot hurt you. Your shadow will always be there, but it does not have to lead. You lead. You choose the direction. You set the pace. Find your true north. What values matter to you? What do you stand for? Let those guide you, not the fear of others. When you know where you are going, you can help others. But you must put on your own oxygen mask first. It is the cardinal rule of survival. You cannot save anyone if you are suffocating. Breathe first, then help. Breathe. Claim the air. It is yours. You do not have to apologize for consuming oxygen. You have a right to be here. In the grand scheme of the universe, we are all small. But that does not mean we should make ourselves smaller. Shine like a star. It does not ask permission to twinkle. It just burns. That is its nature. That is your nature. Light your candle. It pushes back the darkness. One small act of courage can illuminate a whole room of fear. Your courage is contagious. When you stop disappearing, you give permission for others to show up too. You start a revolution. We are a community of survivors. We are waking up. We are reclaiming our voices. We are visionaries of our own lives. This is the vision we are vested in. A world where no child feels the need to disappear to be loved. Look how far you have come. From the shadows to the light. From silence to sound. It is a beautiful journey. This chapter of silence is closing. The next chapter is unwritten, and you hold the pen. Write it bold. Write it loud. What will you write? Will it be a tragedy of disappearance or an epic of presence? The choice is entirely yours. Stop waiting. Stop hiding. The time is now. You are ready. You are worthy. You are enough, just as you are. Thank yourself for surviving, for protecting you when you were small, and for having the courage to grow big now. Your heart is strong. It can handle rejection. It can handle love. It can handle life. Trust its rhythm. Now go. Live your life. Fill the empty spaces with your laughter, your ideas, and your love. Do not hold back. Remember, you are never truly alone. There are millions of us walking this path. We are walking it with you. If this video resonated with you, please share it. Someone else might need permission to stop disappearing today. Like, subscribe, and join the Vision Vested community. Let us build a world where everyone feels safe to be seen. Thank you for watching Vision Vested. Remember to reclaim your space, speak your truth, and never apologize for your own existence.